Welcome back to The Express at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden. We're going to talk seasons in the garden coming up and show you how you can get a taste of summer whether the sun is shining or not. But really nothing says summer quite like our next story. Softball City is hosting its annual international tournament. And as every athlete remembers that first beauty pitch, that first big win, or the first big loss, they can also translate that into really great advice for BC's next generation of all-stars.
Knuckles to the sky, release at your eye, and at your thigh. Okay, ready? You guys gonna try the first time?
It's the next generation of softball greats, or so they hope.
Ball to one!
I've been playing softball pretty much since I could, so since I was 5.
What are you guys doing?
The softball handshake.
Today, along with some of her teammates, Rachel gets to learn from the best in the country here at the Scotiabank Canadian Open Fastpitch Youth Clinic.
Ready, go!
For Team Canada catcher Paige and first baser Kelsey, it wasn't long ago they were youth, just learning.
Good job!
I think it's great just to see the fire in their eyes, and they're always so excited to be here and to learn new things, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, you want to make sure you flick your wrists, right? There's going to be some hitting stations, some throwing stations. There's going to be specifics for like catching and pitching.
I think that's really cool. It's a great opportunity for us to learn.
Nice catch, Bailey. Way to go.
It's also an opportunity for the girls to hang out with their friends.
We don't go to the same school. We never get to see each other except for softball, and we know each other so well. We've had great times just because of this sport.
Ball to one!
For Kelsey and Paige, wearing the Team Canada uniform is an honor.
Just a little bit of framing, maybe some throws to second, a little bit of blocking maybe.
Nice, should be fun.
Yep. So it's a pretty big deal. I mean, it's been a dream of mine since I was a little girl, since I first started playing, so absolutely.
It's fun just to see them having fun, and obviously getting to interact and teach them the sport that I love to play, and then seeing them enjoy it and hopefully them pursue it in the future as well.
It's a dream Rachel, with hard work, plans on making a reality.
You learn from the pros. They have been where you are. They were 13 once. They were doing camps, and they were working towards making the team, which I hope to when I'm their age.
In Surrey,
Release at your eye. And
I'm Melanie PIneda for The Express.
perfect. There you go.
To find out about game schedules, you can go to CanadianOpenFastpitch.com. The championship is on now through July 17th. You're watching The Express, and up next, we're heading to the H.R. MacMillan Space Center to find out who's spying on us from space, or maybe who we're spying on.
Do you ever get that creepy feeling when you go outside that someone's watching you, possibly from high above, maybe even from space? Well, you might not be losing your mind. You might actually be being watched from space. Hi, it's Cam Cronin here at the H.R. MacMillan Space Center for The Express, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about spy satellites. Now, I can't talk to you a lot about spy satellites because, of course, the technology and the information about them is very, very secretive. I can tell you that there are many spy satellites up in space. Many countries have spy satellites, and these are optical satellites that are looking down on Earth with a very, very high-tech camera. And what they're able to do is to pick out various details, things like license plates or movements of people on the ground. They can even look for things like tire tracks. And recently in the news, you might have heard that they used a particular spy satellite to catch a fairly notorious criminal. Osama bin Laden was captured in Pakistan, partially using satellite technology. So what they were able to do is they had a spy satellite about between 600 and 800 kilometers up above the Earth. It had an optical camera. They had some information that he could be on this compound, which was a building and a yard outside, and they used this satellite with facial recognition technology. So it was a camera that was able to look at this person exercising in their yard and try and determine whether in fact that was Osama bin Laden. I think it's pretty interesting, this technology from way up in space able to give that kind of detail. Now, there wasn't many years ago when this was just talked about in movies as something that was part of the future, but the future is in fact now. Now you might wonder, wonder again, are people looking at me from space? Well, unless you're Osama bin Laden, chances are no. No one's looking at you. They might be looking at things like traffic patterns on your street. They might be looking in your backyard to whether or not you put a porch up and you didn't get a permit for it, which is something the city of Vancouver can use aerial photography for, because it does give us an overall image from high above that tells us a lot about what's going on down here on the Earth. And the Space Center, we're very excited because a lot of those satellites are able to tell us how climate change is affecting the Earth, and also how our a change in our regular routines can actually make a benefit to the Earth. And that, I feel, is a great use for this technology. I am kind of interested in spy technology as well, because that is kind of cool, but the bulk of those satellites are doing a lot more valuable work for the planet as a whole. Occasionally, we do catch a bad guy with them, and that is pretty cool. For the Express here at the H.R. MacMillan Space Center, I'm Cam Cronin. And the next time you go outside, somebody might be watching you, but I wouldn't worry too much about it.
The website is spacecenter.ca, and you can find out about all of their kids' summer camps there. Mid-July, they're running Galactic Crusader Camp. In August, it's Mission Impossible Camp. You're watching The Express, and we're talking Chinese symbolism and summer festivals up next.
Take a deep breath, strike it.
After the break,
start rubbing the edge.
The Garden's 8 Treasures gift shop. Victoria's new Street Buskers Festival.
A busker represents a wide cross-section of the universe.
The Express. We are your local voice.
Community programming on Shaw has been generously sponsored in part by
hairstyling and color services for Shaw TV, provided by The Lounge Hair Studio, loungehairstudio.com.
Welcome back to The Express at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden. This is one of the most tranquil spots in the city, but it's also here with intention. Everything has a place and a purpose, and that doesn't stop at the garden. That deeper meaning extends right to the garden gift shop. So you have jade from BC, you have jade from China, even antique jade. Why is it so important?
Well, in ancient China, and nowadays too, it's protection. China uses lots of symbolism, and one of these, the most important, is jade.
I always thought jade was dark green, and these ones are quite light.
Jade can be different colors. The thing is that jade could be more expensive than diamonds. Even our pond looks green, not because it's dirty, because it has to look like jade.
Love it. Okay, so instead of diamonds a girl's best friend, it's now jade is a girl's best friend.
For sure. Singing bowls are just to meditate, and it's mainly to balance your inner vibration with the vibration of the universe and the vibration of the singing bowl. And it's so simple. You will find your own vibration by listening to the singing bowl, and the only thing that you have to do is to strike it, take a deep breath, strike it, and start rubbing the edge until the sound comes slowly. And take deep breath in and out, in and out. And pay attention and feel the balance. That is how it works. And in China, this is very important to meditate.
So there are 4 signature teas, and they represent the seasons, is that right?
Exactly. Yeah. These are the seasons of the year in the garden. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. For the spring, it has raspberry, globe amaranth, ginkgo biloba, and it's just a delicious tea.
It does have that kind of spring fever scent to it.
And this one is 6 different types of green with pineapple and strawberry. Real pineapple, real strawberry. Wow. Beautiful for the stomach. They're is something also important with our teas. We have the yin and the yang energy, the female and the male. A little bit more woody flavor and a bit more floral, alluring, as I said, tea. Beautiful for women. Women love this tea, and men too.
Yes, yeah. The gift shop has a consignment program, and that's why you can find jewelry pieces there that you won't find anywhere else. Also, all proceeds from the gift shop go directly to the garden. Now, the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Garden is a super popular spot for locals and for tourists. And we're also playing tourist with our next story, heading to Victoria to find out about their brand new Street Buskers Festival.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
Make this exciting.
In Victoria, our streets and Inner Harbour are both renowned for street performers. Year-round, there's always something to invite your eyes or entice your ears. Amidst all the street theatre that's here already, the stage is about to get even bigger. For 10 days, starting on July 15th, downtown Victoria will play host to the first Victoria International Buskers Festival. Modelled on the Halifax International Busker Festival, which is celebrating its 25th year this August, the Victoria version will feature over 500 performances by over 50 worldwide entertainers. Selected performers were shortlisted from over 500 video submissions.
It took me about 2.5 months to go through them all, and I walked away from that experience with the understanding that a busker represents a wide cross-section of the universe. It can be anything from jugglers, contortionists, escape artists. There really is no limit to the human art form under the word busker.
With a grant from the city and a handful of sponsorships, there will be 6 stages, an international food village and a buskers bistro.
It's going to be quite something for the city. The great thing about it is that it's family friendly, it's free to attend. Busker tips, of course, are welcomed and appreciated by our performers.
Thank you. Feel free to give twice.
And my whole reasoning behind this thing was just to create a large family friendly festival. Festivals are really celebrations of our downtown, and I think Buskers Festival is a perfect fit. We expect to see about 100,000 people here in mid-July, and a large percentage of them we do anticipate will be Greater Victorians wanting to come downtown and take in all the festivities and all the stages and all the performers.
International acts will be featured on one of the stages, which is on the front lawn of the Empress, and many of the local buskers will be lined along the causeway down here. One of the locals who will perform along the causeway throughout the Buskers Festival is Dave Harris. With his customised instruments, this one-man band has been sharing his talents as a busker for 34 years.
I mean, I write a lot of my own songs and I perform those. Part of what I do when I'm playing my show is I try and introduce the songs and tell people a little bit about them and put on a bit of a show and educate in a way, I guess, as well.
Oh, my name's Dave Harris. I'm a one-man band. I'm a steel guitar, fiddle and harps and hands, play bass and drums with my feet. Blues and folk with a ragtime beat. I've been around, made some deals, got the Buskers blues.
It creates atmosphere, right? It gives people a sense of culture, that there's vibrancy to the city and there's stuff going on. It's nice to be able to find entertainment on the street.
Oh, I think it'd be great fun to see all the different kinds. Absolutely, I would.
It was really awesome. One of my favorite ones was this guy in a Darth Vader costume playing a fiddle.
The white walls are dripping yellow.
Spock, are you aware that Darth Fiddler is across the street?
Darth Fiddler, that's actually a very nice name. Yeah, we met eye to eye a couple of times, but we have not yet shaken hands.
I respect Spock for his logical nature. I just wish he'd give us more space.
And of course, what every busker thrives upon, aside from audience reaction, a healthy offering by way of a tip. In Victoria, I'm James Green for Big Summer.
Big Summer is brought to you by Cultus Lake Water Park, BC's #1 water park.
You gotta love the West Coast parties. And we've got some more ideas for your social calendar with today's Cultus Lake Big Summer Spotlight.
The Afro-Brazilian Block Party on Granville Street features a full day of performances, including traditional dance, music, and capoeira. Live a day the Fijian way at the Fiji Festival of 2011. The festival includes traditional Fijian ceremonies, a soccer tournament, ethnic food, and more. Paint the town green this summer and experience Canada's parks with Parks Canada and BC Parks, as both celebrate their 100th birthday this year.
And in celebration of their 25th anniversary, there's also lots of great programming happening here at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Gardens. Original theater, the Enchanted Evening Concert Series, and changing art exhibitions. Now that's it for today's Express. We're going to leave you with a look at an ongoing exhibit that's part of the Vancouver Biennale, and we'll see you next time.